How would you feel about a federal law requiring all citizens of age 18 plus to volunteer for any environmental cause, where the number of hours logged can be used as a certain amount of payment for college? If it's required, it's not voluntary. Required to volunteer. Selective service in a nutshell. Nothing volunteer about it. If you don't register, you can be fined and lose government benefits. I don't know whoever said anything about it being voluntarily. No one is forcing you to register with a gun to your head. If you don't register, then you'll lose those government benefits, federal student loans, chances of getting a government job. Don't forget potential 5 years in jail and $250,000 fine. On mobile and text selection is acting fudgy in that page, but it could be way worse than but getting loans. Free college and volunteering for environmental causes in the same sentence. This is the biggest Reddit bait title I've ever seen. Op tried so hard to bait us Reddit with the good ol how would you feel about a law that. But his idea was so fudging terrible not even people here agreed with it. Doesn't matter, got karma. You can't require someone to be a volunteer. Every single dictatorship ever, watch me. Volunteer only if you want, but if you don't want, you go to jail. You are still presented with a choice. // // X200B. Edit, are you people allergic to sarcasm or what? Please, 10 more people, go ahead and tell me it's actually not volunteering. Forcing people to volunteer sounds like an oxymoron. And I don't think very many would comply with any such law. Being voluntold is my favorite type of volunteering. And now's your chance to volunteer. They smiled and said with joy and cheer. And though 'twas no I thought to say, they volunteered me anyway. Ah, the smell of a fresh sprog in the morning. Smells like victory. That might only work if you still live at home and don't have the need for a full-time job. Requiring all citizens to volunteer. You don't seem to understand the word volunteer. Also, I'm pretty sure the 13th Amendment to the Constitution might have some issue with this. I'm about to dump my trash outside, clean it up and claim some college money. Entrepreneur. Stonks. So if you don't want to do that, you'll be put in prison and be convicted of a felony? Yeah, pretty much. Fuck your human rights. Big government always leads to actions by force. All governmental actions are done by force. Who receives the education from the college tuition? How is anything that's mandatory by law, volunteering? Because they are going to do it to young people. Nobody better to exploit than the inexperienced youth trying to better themselves and avoid being extorted for an education. Just tell them it's an internship with great prospects. Just like how in Michigan, you can pay a minor like $4 an hour, around that much, for the first 90 days of a job as a training wage. This can be used anywhere, including not tip positions. This entire post is a bruh moment. Bruh, I can relate tbh extreme. This is remarkably similar to the Corvée system. It was abolished because it was basically slavery for people who couldn't afford to pay their taxes. Imagine getting fined for working for someone for free. Also, requiring to volunteer. That's forced labor, my son. Kind of like the IRS calling people customers. Forced labor equals slavery. Right? That sounds really fudging stupid. It's what you get when someone's been on Reddit for too long and have convinced themselves they're smart. You can see from the amount of upvotes that he's not the only one. It's what you get when someone's been on Reddit for too long and have convinced themselves they're smart. There always seems to be a big surge of these harebrained ideas during the summer. It is exactly the type idea that someone with no concept of the value of time, no understanding of real amounts of money, doesn't know what logistics even is, and an inability to realize that not everyone agrees with them comes up with. So yeah, kids. That would be a great way to make the average citizen have a negative view of environmentalism. People don't like being told what to do. Look up the definition of volunteer. No, that's stupid. Institutionalized slavery. How original. So social credit. China loves you. Bunch of authoritarians here, geez. It's not volunteer if you have to do it. I think you missed the concept of volunteering. No. It has to be a personal choice. Try education instead of enforcement.